Hello everyone, Sam from SamGB Rebuild, and today I'm gonna talk about my m1100 project. And I can say that it is finished. Both internally and externally it has been modified in multiple ways. Almost every part has been touched up in some way or another. And yeah, it's a very fun gun, it's a plinking gun, it's not that good at outdoor performance, but it will get the job done. I would like to thank two people in general for helping me with this. First of all, Manuel from MV Creativity on Shapeways, because he helped me design most of the internal parts on this build. Internal parts are 3D printed steel, and he made the files to 3D print them, and they are also available on his store. To this day, he's still updating the files with my recommendations for adjustments on those parts, so it can be that in later videos your part, if you order one, will slightly differ from the ones I've used, so watch out for that. The second guy I want to mention is Jeff from Repairsoft, because he helped me tremendously with milling, drilling, everything that's hardware related on this build. He has a one-man workshop, custom workshop for airsoft custom builds in Antwerp, Belgium. Just ask for him on Facebook or so and he will reply most of the time. You can go to his site repairsoft.be and find some of his work. He has done some quite interesting builds. If you like his work, if you have questions about some builds, go check him out. So I'm gonna do a little overview of the internals, just textual, and go over some of the external things that are different from the original one. So let's get started. Internally, we are working with what I can basically call an inner body with the mag tube and the inner barrel fixed to it that go into the external body. If you watched my Facebook posts or my Instagram, you have seen some of the parts show up as a whole piece, so both the inner body, mag tube, and the inner barrel attached to it. That's most of the inner workings. Internally, I've modified quite a lot on it. I can talk about the steel parts like charging handle, the side bolt slash extractor, the shell lifter, the shell blocks for feeding mechanism, and of a side plate that helps that makes one of the side plates function. For the rest, I've done a piston mod. I've tapped it to APA, but that's not that difficult. You just couple the original hose onto a HPA tank. I've modified the lifter, the original gas expansion chamber, and some of the other internal parts just for better function and less wear. I've done nothing to the magazine tube. The inner barrel has now a sort of TDC mod. It's not that accessible, but it is there. It's now fixed in place. I can adjust it, but it's quite difficult. And that's most of the internal parts. For the external parts, we're using GMP mostly. If you've seen my GMP M870 long breacher disassembly video, you've seen that I've used most of those parts. I'm talking about the steel outer barrel, an aluminium top rail, an aluminium body, the pistol grip assembly. Note that this whole piece is plastic, the plastic grip, the trigger guard, this is also aluminium. We have a buffer tube, probably from a WOC M4, and an aftermarket Chinese M4 stock. It's quite decent for the quality. For the rest, we have the original m1100 front grip. I liked it and I wanted to keep something original on this shotgun, and this fitted the bill quite perfectly. And we've also the original magazine tube extension that holds more shells. For the rest, we have for markings only the original Wingmaster M870 markings from the GMP shotgun. It's not that special, and I'm thinking about cerakoting the lower body and the top rail and the magazine extension tube just to give it a more personal look. After that, externally, this is quite modified. We're talking about the inner barrel, removing the original spacer and placing a new one back for the original m1100 inner barrel, modifying the ring that keeps both hulls to each other, because the GMP ring was a millimeter smaller than the m1100 magazine tube. We also have the modified body for the charging handle, so if I charge it back, it goes just into place like it should. We have a modified trigger guard because the dimensions on the m1100 internals are slightly different. We have a hole drilled to the pistol grip assembly for the hose, so it goes from here to here. We have a smooth hole for the hose to come through, so it wouldn't wobble as much. And we have also some slight modification on front hand guards of the original, just to fit in with the other barrel. So that's it mostly externally. So what am I planning to do with it? As I mentioned, I want to cerakote it eventually. The top rail, the body, and the mag extension tube on the end here. But that's it. At first I'm gonna take it to a field, just play with it to see how it functions in game. I'm planning to do some sort of tree gun with this, because yeah, it's a semi-auto shotgun. It's made for tree gun and such. After that game I will disassemble it, and I will go over everything internally and externally to discuss it, how I did it, how I modified it, what are some quirks of this thing. I'm gonna try to do it first, but finding a local game is quite hard, because I do not have enough shells and I still need to get a shell catcher. I know a place that has one for sale at the moment, so I'm gonna try to buy one of those, so watch out for that. So with this I want to end the video. Give a look at my Facebook page, my Instagram page for more information. If you have any questions, just ask them. I'm here to help. One thing that I wanted to note, I do not accept commissions at this moment. A, I'm still a student, and B, some of the guidelines that are in this country prohibit me from sending airsoft guns to someone else, so I'm gonna say that first for people start asking for commissions. Other things to note, I'm in Belgium area, I'm in search of interesting GBBs that I can disassemble and take a look at. This is just for making more content, except next to these custom builds. So if you have one, hook me up. I'm gonna say if I'm interested or not to do it, and if possible, thank you. With this, give a look at my Facebook page, go to my Instagram, follow me if possible, subscribe if possible, etc. Thanks and bye bye.